Hi, my name is Kip Castana, and I got my article off of the Washington Post, which was published in 2013. And I'm doing my presentation on climate change and how it affects polar bears. Like I said before, this article is not old, it's from 2013, and they make the mistake of using global warming instead of climate change, which later in the article they do correct themselves and use climate change. Some of the biggest threats to the polar bear is ice loss due to climate change. Since the polar bear is mostly a marine mammal and they live more than half their life in the water, it's still a big issue since the feeding seasons are getting less. Because the feeding seasons are getting less, the size of um, the polar bears are getting smaller and smaller, including the weight size, the offspring, and this is due by the size of the icebergs drastically decreasing. Um, and this is causing the polar bears to swim a much further distance to iceberg, and the icebergs are a lot smaller, where they cannot catch or be able to feed themselves or their offspring. Um, Due to the climate change and ice melt, they predicted by 2050 that two-thirds of the polar bears um, will be gone and they'll be on the endangered species list. Um, there's a story of a polar bear that they followed for 9 days with her cub. She swam a total of 9 days nonstop and lost 20% of her body weight. In the Hudson Bay in Canada, since the water is rising, that there's less area for the polar bears to stay on, and they're venturing more inland. And this has also caused their hunting to go down by 3 weeks, and this is causing a weight loss of over 15%. And like I said before, this is causing less reproduction rate. Um, During this time, the icebergs are miles away, so they have to swim for countless of hours to try to find food. And then in the polar bear's future isn't we're still in research to see what we can do to try to prevent this species from going away since they are such a spectacular animal. And hopefully we can figure out something that will benefit them and we could save the species.